Angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here, especially for today's case because this is absolutely mind-blowing and I've been thinking about it non-stop since digging into it. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that we've dove into different possession cases and hauntings all across the world. But another topic of conversation that we've dove into that I find truly intriguing is the concept of the spiritual relationship between twins, twin telepathy, and the way that twins are able to connect in ways that not many other humans or even other siblings tend to be able to. We've dove into a couple of different twin cases, but this one is especially intriguing because not only is it a case of twins who were able to communicate telepathically, but it's also a case to do with twins that a possession was involved in. And the telepathy and the spiritual connection is what ends up saving one of the girls. I find this stuff so interesting. I find this case especially interesting, and I am so excited to hear what you guys think of this particular case. So definitely make sure to let me know in the comment section below. But before we get into today's video, I am so excited to let you guys know that today's video is once again sponsored by Keen. Now, if you've been on my channel for a hot minute, you guys would know how much I love using Keen, how much my family loves using Keen, and how I can't recommend Keen enough. Keen connects you with talented tarot readers and astrologists who can provide clarity and insight into your life. Now, if you want to get a reading on Keen, getting started is truly so easy. You simply create an account and then you're able to choose from hundreds of readers online right now. I can truly say from personal experience that these readers have unique gifts and special abilities that really do help provide insight into your life, life's challenges, love life, just anything that you're looking for clarity on. Now, there are so many incredible readers on Keen, but I highly suggest looking through and seeing who best suits your needs and find someone that connects with your energy, because once you do, the connection is truly incredible. And better yet, depending on your personal comfort level or what your preference is, you can connect via call or text. So if you have questions about any aspect of your life, I highly suggest checking out Keen. But here's the absolute best part. As a new Keen customer, you can receive your first 10 minutes for just $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. Like, what? All you have to do is go to trykeen.com/Reese. I will have it linked at the very top of my description for your convenience. But as I mentioned, as a new Keen customer, it's your first 10 minutes for just $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. Crazy. So make sure to head to trykeen.com/Reese or click the link at the very top of my description to save big. And thank you so much to Keen for providing me with so much life insight, but also for sponsoring today's video. And apologies for her snoring. But without further ado, let's get into this case because, as I said, it is mind-blowing. Now, this case begins with two twins by the name of Madison and Mackenzie from San Diego. Now, these two, from the moment that they were born, had what everyone could only describe as like a true twin connection. It was said that when they were newborn babies and they'd be screaming and crying and nothing else was working, all you'd have to do is put them right next to each other and they would cuddle one another and calm right down as if they were each other's soothing partner. Like they just calmed each other down perfectly. As the two were growing, before they could even speak, their parents described them as having like their own little language. They were speaking complete baby gibberish, but they would giggle at one another, they would react to one another, and it was as though they were truly communicating via their own language. But it even went beyond that. Those who knew them as little girls would say that they also communicated what looked like telepathically. When they were getting older and they were able to walk and play, All one would have to do is look at one another, and it was as though it registered and they knew exactly what the other wanted, be it a toy, a bite of their snack, for them to come hug them. It was like this unexplainable connection. These two were best of friends, so much so that it was recommended by their doctors to actually separate them a little bit because their dependency was growing a little bit too strong, and as they were heading into school, they would have to be separated from one another in order for them to develop properly, because these two just did not want anything to do with any other children. Madison and Mackenzie just wanted to be around each other. They were the best of friends. Now, as school rolled around, they would begin telling their friends that they were able to talk to one another from the other classrooms. They would even tell the teacher that they knew exactly what the other was thinking or doing. And so one teacher put this to a test when they were in first grade. The two were in separate classrooms, and she had spoken to the other teacher saying, like, don't tell me what you're gonna be doing at this exact minute, but I want you to write down what Madison is doing at this minute. At that particular minute in the opposite classroom, the teacher goes up and asks Mackenzie, hey, like, can you talk to Madison right now? She says, yeah, I can talk to Madison in my mind. She says, what is Madison doing? She said, Madison is doing reading time. So later in the day, at whatever time of day, the two teachers link back up, and sure enough, it was reading time right at that moment. I have goosebumps. Like, these types of things blow my mind. And actually, fun fact, you guys know Sarah, you've seen her a lot on my YouTube channel. She's a twin, and she said when they were little, they had a similar connection like that, which is wild. But these types of things just fascinate me. So the two girls grow up, and all throughout elementary school, all throughout high school, best of friends. They did start developing like outer circles, but at the core of it all, it was the two of them. And what was interesting is that I've read in some twin cases, as they get older, the ability to communicate telepathically can kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like lessen. That's the word I'm looking for. Duh, Hailey. It can lessen over time. But these two said as they were getting older, it was only getting stronger. It almost became a party trick for them. They would tell people, I know exactly what she's gonna write down. But people didn't really believe at this stage in their life that they were truly communicating via their minds. They thought that they had like talked about it ahead of time and they were trying to spook people out. But nonetheless, the two girls continued on saying like they can feel each other's pain. They can feel each other's sickness. They can feel everything. In fact, during high school, Madison would be out with friends when she would fall and actually break her arm. Mackenzie was at home with her parents, turned to her mom and dad and said something's wrong with Madison. Sure enough, Madison had broken her arm. When the parents asked her why she knew that, she said she could feel Madison was in pain. She didn't specifically say the arm, but she could feel that Madison wasn't feeling right and was in pain, which again, goosebumps. So I'm sure you're wondering where this takes a dark turn, because so far this is just a fascinating story of two girls who are truly spiritually connected. But this would take a turn when the girls would head off to college. This would be the first time that the two of them would be going separate from one another. This was a really, really hard thing for them both, and especially because unfortunately their mother would pass away shortly before they were leaving off to college. The two girls even contemplated, should we go off to college? We just lost mom, I don't want to lose you too, but decided that their futures were worth it, that they should go to college, and then afterwards they can go get jobs somewhere together, maybe get a place together. So they did decide to go off to college. But as the two girls went off to college, Madison took the emotional side of it a lot harder than Mackenzie did. Madison found herself struggling in school. She felt very lonely. She felt like she didn't have her mom. She didn't have her twin sister. Her relationship with her dad wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was very surface level. He would call and just simply say like, all right, well, good talking with ya. I'm glad things are good. There was no deeper connection, and Mackenzie was super busy with school. Madison kind of felt left behind and lonely. So one day she calls Mackenzie and tells her this. She tells Mackenzie that she's in a dark place. All she wants to do is talk to mom, talk to her. She knows that she's busy and she's happy for her and she loves her, but she's sad. And Mackenzie said, I knew this because when I tap into you, I can feel it. I can feel your sadness. She encouraged Madison to reach out and make connections and that they'd be together soon enough. And Madison told Mackenzie that she would do that, but Mackenzie had a very eerie feeling. In the coming weeks, when the two girls would be talking, Madison would bring something up to Mackenzie that sent what she described as tingles through her body, but not in a good way. Madison told Mackenzie that she'd recently learned and was recently taking up different seances and rituals to summon a deceased loved one back so that you can manifest them and talk to them and see them and hear them, or at the very least make a connection with them. Now, Mackenzie told Madison right away that she had a very bad feeling about this, but Madison continued on, and every time Mackenzie would tap into Madison, she was feeling more and more disconnected from her. She said that connection that she was always able to tap into felt like something was blocking it. And when she would finally talk to her sister or text her sister, the energy was off. She felt like she was calling Madison and hearing Madison's voice, but that it wasn't truly Madison. Madison seemed a lot angrier, distant, just overall different. And Mackenzie had, again, a very bad feeling about this. But things would take a crazy twist, you guys. Absolutely crazy. Mackenzie would start having dreams that Madison would come to her, but in the way that Madison was coming to her, Madison was almost translucent and floating around, looking distressed, asking Mackenzie, Mackenzie, I need help. Mackenzie, it's taken over me. Now, Mackenzie thought she was just being paranoid. Normally the two could connect anytime. It didn't have to be dreams. So she thought perhaps her subconscious is just worried about her twin sister and that she's overthinking things. But the dreams would only get stronger and stronger, and every time Madison was calling out for help. When the girls would return home for, I believe it was winter break, one of the breaks that you get from college, she realized that when she would look into the eyes of her sister, it wasn't her sister. She felt as though something had taken over her sister. Now, she described it as not fully possessed, like she wasn't climbing up the walls or speaking in tongue or doing anything like that. She was just very angry. Her eyes looked lifeless. She just wasn't herself, and Mackenzie couldn't shake the dreams that she had been having. She felt as though whatever she had summoned during those seances was suppressing the good parts of her twin sister and trying to take her over. Now, Mackenzie never described what they had to do. She said it wasn't an official exorcism, but it was a long time of cleansings, like back to back to back, all these different things that they had to do, different baths, different cleansings, different, all the jazz to try to clear this energy. And eventually, Madison came back. But what was crazy is Madison didn't remember certain parts of the last couple of months. She just didn't have any recollection of them. It was as though something was taking over her eyes. But what's wild is the two girls believe that Madison's soul was in the astral plane or just reaching out to her, telling her, I need you to save me, because their souls are so connected. The two girls, to this day, believe that their spiritual connection saved Madison from a demonic or dark entity attack. And they're just so grateful that they have this ability and this connection to one another. Looking back, Madison sees where she went wrong. She said that some of the seances and things that she was doing were out of her realm of experience, and she feels as though she was in too deep over her head out of desperation to connect to the other side, which leads me into my point that I always say in all my videos like this. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to be so careful, because once you open the door to the other side, you have no idea what you're letting walk through it. And in this case, it could have ended a lot worse. Either way, I think this case of Madison and Mackenzie is absolutely chilling. Yeah, it's dark at points, but I think that their connection and relationship from infancy is beautiful and just goes to show that there's so much more to our world. We truly are spiritual beings having earthly experiences. Light will always overcome darkness. Don't you ever forget that. And I'm so curious to know what you guys think of this particular experience, but that is basically it for today's video. Once again, I would just absolutely love to thank Keen for sponsoring this video. I truly think that you guys will love Keen just as much as I do. And as I mentioned, as a new Keen customer, you will receive your first 10 minutes for just $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. So make sure to head to trykeen.com/Reese. Again, it will be linked at the very top of my description. And thank you so much to Keen for sponsoring. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my content, I would love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my love is to do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.